Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinx.
Good morning, Dr. Abati.
You look different.
I surprised you guys,
Is it the blouse? Or?
It is the blouse. It's called the blouse. I'm wearing a blouse. It's a new year. I'm trying to, spice up my wardrobe. Why not?
It's called a, should I be specific?
Yes.
This is a pussy bow blouse.
Did you actually? Okay,
Pussy.
yeah.
That's what it's called.
Wow.
A what?
Pussy
blow.
Pussy blow.
Pussy blow.
Oh,
Okay. Am I having a hearing problem? Say pussy blue.
Oh, are you being vile?
No idea what you just said.
No, I'm not.
Are you being horrendous? It's a pussy bow blouse.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah, you won. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I thought you were.
Well, all right.
I shouldn't have said that in this company.
I don't know.
That was a mistake. I don't think about those things. My mind is not that way inclined.
I mean, what are those things?
I don't have prurient thoughts.
What are those things? Who is thinking anything? I say, bow.
Well, all right. Let's begin what's trending. Forget the bow. It does not exist.
It's bow.
Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United States, Letitia James, New York's Attorney General, on Monday, issued subpoenas to former President Donald Trump and his two eldest children, Donald Trump Jr. and Ivanka Trump, in connection with an investigation into the valuation of property owned or controlled by Trump and his company, the Trump Organization. In Brazil, a photo of President Jair Bolsonaro on his hospital bed shared via Twitter after being diagnosed on Monday with an intestinal blockage has made the rounds. The 66-year-old president has been admitted several times to a hospital since being stabbed in the abdomen during his 2018 presidential campaign. In his tweet, the president said he started feeling unwell on Sunday. After lunch, he was flown from the southern state of Santa Catarina, where he was vacationing, and was urgently admitted to the Vila Nova Star Hospital in Sao Paulo. In India, the online sale of 100 Muslim women on an open source app called Bully Buy has caused outrage on social media. The police in 2 states have registered cases accusing developers of the app and Twitter handles that share the images and content. The case is the second attempt in months to harass Muslim women in India by auctioning them online. In July, the app and website called Suli Deals created profiles of more than 80 Muslim women using photos they uploaded online and described them as deals of the day. Under sports, 31-year-old Argentine DJ Fer Palacio has denied accusations that he infected football legend Lionel Messi with COVID-19 after he received death threats and insults on social media by people who believe he was responsible for the star getting the virus. On Monday, the DJ took to Instagram to show his negative COVID result. Lionel Messi spent the Christmas break attending several parties, including one at which the DJ performed. Finally, under entertainment, a 2009 damages settlement document against the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein that was disclosed on Monday by a New York court reveals that Virginia Jeffrey, the woman suing the Duke of York, Prince Andrew, agreed not to sue anyone connected to Epstein who could be described as a potential defendant. According to the document, Epstein had paid Jeffrey the sum of $500,000 to end her claim. Jeffrey is suing the Duke of York in a civil case for allegedly sexually assaulting her 20 years ago when she was a teenager. Well, let's begin what's trending. Reactions have continued to trail the arrest of residents and security guards of Magodo Brooks estate by the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Hakeem Odumosu. In a post via Twitter, human rights lawyer Inibehe Effiong said that the Commissioner of Police owes everyone arrested an apology, alleging that since the CP's visit to the estate was private, he was confined by law to subject himself to the protocol of the estate,
quoting Section 37 of the Nigerian Constitution, which makes provision for citizens' right to privacy, including the privacy of their homes. Effiong added that the arrest of the security guards and residents of the estate constituted a gross abuse of power by the Commissioner of Police. The Lagos State Police spokesman had issued a statement alleging that the CP had visited the estate to meet a strategic partner, but was refused entry by the security guards, even after being formally introduced, well, debunking the claim. The residents of the estate, under the auspices of Mabra, said the security guards had no prior knowledge of the CP's visit and were arrested in their bid to assist him with directions. I mean, this is continuing to trend on social media. I thought that it was important to completely highlight the estate's side of the story because they were quite detailed about the fact that the police commissioner had blocked their estate in that whole rancor, and they arrested this widow with her children who was even just trying to intervene at that point. Well, Inibehe Effiong has said that the police commissioner should apologize and probably release the security guards or just tender an apology at this point.
I don't see why a widow and children should have been arrested. But for me, it's necessary. The same. I feel the same way. Inibehe Effiong is a really great communicator. I enjoy his submissions, and this is typically forceful from him, but I disagree with some of the points that he raised. Okay. It just depends on who you believe and where your bias lies. I don't know why people are so certain that he went for jollophing and pepper souping. You're calling the CP a liar. He might be, I don't know. But unless I have facts, I tend to refrain from certain things. What they have said is that he was going for a meeting. And as far as I'm concerned, you'll recall, you're all on the morning show WhatsApp group. As far as I'm concerned, if he wasn't in a uniform and he showed up at the gate with security detail, he really could have been anybody, so he should be stopped. But once he has said who he is, why continue to hold him? This is what I don't get. Once he has introduced himself, if you continue to hold him, then you are obstructing. Because he said he was going for an official function, of course. It depends on who you believe here. But I tend to err on giving people the benefit of the doubt. And I always will, quite frankly. And it depends as well on your bias, because a lot of people do have developed this loathing, this animus for the Nigerian police force. And I can't say I blame them. But as a result of that, issues are being conflated. That point as well about the Constitution guaranteeing you rights. People can't just enter your house. Yeah. Well, of course they can't. You need a search warrant. You need all kinds of things. But entering an estate is vastly different from entering a house. It's completely different. Come on, what are we saying here? And the other issue is that some people's bias might also arise if you've dealt with one of these officious jobs worth security guards who really are quite difficult. And you imagine these people, there was even a movie made of it. This comedy wasn't very good, actually. Paul Blart, mall cop. Really self-important mall security guy who it was funny because that kind of behavior, I'm sorry, you're a joke. If you've ever dealt with people like that, you kind of understand. Give this person a police uniform and a gun, you'll see how awful he would truly be. So it really depends. I see bias in this story quite a bit. If he was not wearing a uniform, as is alleged, then that's a problem. If he was going to Jollof, then that's a problem.
Yeah, but we have video footage of the blockage from that weekend. It was really horrific. I don't know if we can pull those videos up. I mean, why would that happen if the case isn't...
No, you shouldn't block an estate in the process because people are trying to get in and out.
Yeah, yes. So that's the only issue that I have with this whole situation. And the widow and her 3 children that were arrested,
no, that's
trying to, avert the situation from happening.
The children had nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Dr.
Anyway, as I said yesterday, 2 sides to the story. Depending on where you are coming from, you are likely to support one side or the other. If you look at that footage that is on the screen, it doesn't quite look as if it was the police that blocked the entrance to the gate. We were told that there was a traffic gridlock for about 4 hours because of that commotion and the protest by the residents. But I think, look, every point that has been raised about possible abuse of power or position or the high-handedness of the police or the overzealousness of the security guards, the right to privacy, well, all of those points are valid one way or the other. I think what is important is to put a closure to this. The persons who were arrested, Mrs. Adebola Fatiregun and our children, our 3 children, and also the 4 security guards. We understand the police at the sheriff police station have granted them administrative bail. I think that the matter should just be brought to an end.
Yeah.
The police should not press charges against them.
No.
And Hakeem Odumosu, as he leaves, maybe I think he's going into retirement, or he leaves the position of Commissioner of Police, should try to put a closure around this very quickly, so that this doesn't become the definitive moment of what was otherwise, or what has otherwise been a very brilliant career as a police officer, and as commander of the Rapid Response Squad, and as Commissioner of Police in Lagos State, and as the only police commissioner, that has been given, that has been recognized formally by the Lagos State House of Assembly. If I were in his shoes, I would feel really, really, sad that all of those efforts, this is what is happening at the last moment. So he should reflect on it and also not continue to push it. But, the estate too, this is some kind of opportunity for introspection for the Residents Association. Whatever the rules may be, are there things that the Residents Association will also look at? Are there certain measures that they need to take further in terms of how, the security guards at the gate interface with, people visiting the estate? So these are various dimensions to it.
Rufai.
CP Hakeem Odumosu has done his best for Lagos State. As he moves on to the position of AIG, wish him the very best. But concerning this matter, I take a very different view. No security man at the estate gates would harass you when you have the particular information about where you are going. The modus operandi I know is that you call, and when you call at the gate, they give you specific places and they lead you there. Except there was a vendetta prior to this time.
Is that a protocol in this particular estate? You know the estate?
Yes, I've been there many times, Magodo Brooks, the popular estate. And I've gone to see some strategic partners there too. Moving on. Secondly, moving on.
You guys are just in an Alawada mood today.
Moving on. The truth has to be said.
Let's say the truth.
The truth.
You're so shaky.
The truth has to be said.
All right.
That in all of this, what I see that is evident in society is that level of high-handedness that we should watch. And please, let's not throw the baby away with the bathwater here. The security guards might have done wrong in their own regard. But you know what they say? Action and reaction is equal and opposite. Was the reaction by the CP tenable? Couldn't we have settled this in a better way? Should it lead to arresting a woman and 3 of her children? And that's why I kept on insisting yesterday, Dr. Abati. Let us go to court. Let's go to court. I mean, if you arrested them, there's a crime, that's why you arrested them. You charge them to court. Let their lawyers state their own part. You state your own part. The judge will hear both sides. Now that we can't reach a compromise, every side is slanted. Concerning this matter, people have abused me on social media. Me, I don't care.
What for?
Oh, yes. They've abused me many times on social media, blah, 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 and all of that. I'm not saying the police is not doing a good job. Don't get me wrong. Our Nigerian police are doing so much with the little they have. But you see, when we live in a society and we do something that is untoward, we should call ourselves out. And that's why I say, maybe the court will have to settle this for us. But if they want peace, then the apologies must come from the higher hand. What I've been seeing is the lower hand has been apologizing all this while. The CP2 can do the needful. Call them, hug them, apologize.
Yeah, it just
if we want peace. Really but if that's not the case, let's go to court and settle this out. But if the CP wants peace for his legacies, he should be the one to hug and apologize. And let's move on from this.
What side you believe.
Right. Well, all right. We'll take another story. Reverend Father Ejike Mbaka, spiritual director of the Adoration Ministry in Enugu State, has been trending on social media over comments he made during his New Year church service. In May of last year, the priest was summoned by the Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Enugu, Callistus Onaga, who ordered Mbaka to shut down his ministry for 30 days over his controversial views about Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, and his connection to the presidency. While addressing his congregation on New Year's Day, the priest alleged that there was a plot to kill him the night he was summoned by the Catholic Diocese of Enugu. He added that their plan was to capture him and take him to a hotel called Cubana and 2 other brothels in a bid to frame him up. Well, the priest, who at the time was an ardent supporter of President Muhammadu Buhari during the sermon, denied asking anyone to vote for the president. He claimed that he only declared a revelation that he received about Buhari becoming president in 2015. Well, let's take a listen to this old clip.
People of God prayed from here and there. God answered our prayers and gave us Muhammadu Buhari. And I want to tell you today, God has told us that Buhari is a prayer answered. President Buhari is an answered prayer. Whether you hate him or whether you like him, Buhari is a prayer answered. The bishops of Nigeria, the Catholics, prayed against bribery and corruption. And this president came with a Magna Charta that has to do with war against corruption. All the prayers we have been doing against corruption, God answered that prayer through a Muslim who decided not to discriminate. There's nothing like religious, racial discrimination in Buhari's administration. He is a man for all. He means good for this country. And we owe him support. Unalloyed support. Consistent support. Perennial support. Unstoppable support. Spiritual and otherwise. Because if he is not the man on the hem of our faith now, had he been the last regime continued, by now, Nigeria will be for sales. Who will buy? Who
will buy Nigeria? I mean, this man is a case. I'm sorry. No, I had to, because it was like, what is he talking about if this isn't support? But I mean, why will the Catholic Diocese want to kill you? For what purpose, Father Mbaka?
So this is my issue. I don't really like the element of slander here. That these allegations are serious. Attempted murder is, is a criminal issue. And then this whole thing of they tried to frame him, so they're trying to smear him and ruin his life and then take his life. Come on now.
Dr. Van.
Well, I think Ejike Mbaka has to make up his mind whether he wants to join Nollywood or he wants to remain a priest, because he seems to have established a firm reputation as a drama king. And so, I don't buy all this tales by moonlight. If he says that there was an attempt in May 2021 to kill him, and that it was a protest by some of his fans that saved him, who is he accusing of an attempt to kill him? Is it Bishop Callistus Onaga, under whose archdiocese he functions as a priest? Is he saying that the same Catholic Church that he works for, was colluding with certain other elements to frame him and embarrass him? What will be the gain of the Catholic Church in setting up his own priest? So I find that, really strange. The second point is that, apart from that statement that he made, he said somewhere else that he didn't ask people to vote for President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015. Well, maybe he's suffering from some kind of memory loss, amnesia. Because in December 2014, this same Mbaka, I was in government at the time, and it was my job to speak for the president of Nigeria, issued a statement openly, or had this, sermon, this adoration worship, they call it, revival night or something, where he told the congregation not to vote for President Jonathan. And he said that he didn't care whether President Muhammadu Buhari was a Muslim or not. And he categorically told his congregation that they should vote for him. And this was televised. And it was on the basis of this. I mean, does Mbaka does he have a laptop? Does he have access to Google? No. He should just Google his own statements. Now, it was on the basis of this that in July 2015, President Buhari personally commended Ejike Mbaka for his patriotism, he called it, apparently for supporting him. And besides, I know Catholic priests to be very well trained and educated people. I don't know what the matter is with this guy. If you stand in front of a large congregation and he has a large following in Enugu, right, and where he is now, and you tell them, don't vote for this person, and he even told them, one of the things he said, he was that, the presidency, the Jonathan presidency sent him money, and he rejected it. So now he's revising history. Now, I don't think that part of the training of a Catholic priest include using the cassock to tell lies, to deceive and mislead people, and engage in fiction. So I think the time has come again for Bishop Callistus Onaga to summon Ejike Mbaka and maybe ask him to proceed, not for 30 days retreat now, maybe 90 days. Cardinal Onayeka, in 2014, actually made the point that, look, that Mbaka is a different kind of priest, and that if he was under his own archdiocese, he would have sanctioned him long before. Nobody has sanctioned him, and that's why he keeps crossing the line between politics, drama, and priesthood. And I think that, the Catholic Church, I've written on him about 3 times, so it's not as if I'm saying anything new. So these are my views about this particular priest. Why we say that the church has a major role to play. At the same time, the men of God also must operate within the rules. And there is a disciplinary procedure within the Catholic Church, which I think that the leaders of the Church of the Catholic Church in Nigeria will have to bring up in order to make sure that other priests do not begin to emulate the example of Ejike Mbaka.
Let's see what this priest is doing in Ghana. We'll take our final story with a video of an unidentified pastor bathing naked female members of his church during the crossover service on New Year's Eve. This video has gone viral. Well, in the video, the pastor could be heard urging his female church members to come forward for the holy bath. The pastor claimed that he got the directive from above while admitting that the act might cause controversy, but had no option than to obey the spirits. Well, according to reports, the pastor engaged in the ritual to cleanse his members so they will become holy and pure. Let's take a look.
I hope you all know this. This is something from above. I have been directed to do this direction for you people. I know some people will be sitting at their homes and they will be telling me that this pastor is not from God. But for me, I always say that when the Spirit directs you, you don't have any option. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Refine.
You see, incumbent. You see,
something day.
Something day. That's what it means, incumbent.
I mean, I have been so shocked ever since I watched this video. It was been trending for like 2 days now.
It's sad. And this is what I was speaking about a couple of weeks ago. There's a level of psychosis, madness. It's obvious. Some are schizophrenic. If you follow the Bible as a pastor, where did the Bible tell you to bathe the members, nakedness, and see them? Just like Dr. Abati, the priest, where did the Bible say be partisan in politics and take sides? Where did the Bible say you should be a contractor? Because this same priest that is talking now The same government he supported, that he said the Holy Spirit revealed to him, the same government came out to say that because they didn't give him contracts. That's why he's shouting.
I mean, Dr. Marty, I can't believe that.
I think, to a large extent, the church should watch it. And I know the church will rise up strong. But people like this have no way in the church. And I think what we should do more is, please, increase the places where we can do mental tests.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are mad in this
I think
country.
this is not
mental
I don't think it's
tests.
mental. I think these people are perverts. I mean, I don't know.
I don't want to demonize people that have mental health problems.
These people are perverts.
Yeah.
They were rubbing oil on their bodies and had them naked in front of the congregation. So, I don't think that the pastor even got that sense.
It is only a mental person that craves a hard-on in church. It is sad.
Well, anyway, the church has not been identified.
No.
The priest has not been identified. I just hope that this is not a skit. If it's a real-life event,
it is sad.
Then something has gone wrong somewhere.
Well,
because even our Lord Jesus Christ washed the feet. These new pastors who are washing other things, I wonder what kind of... thank you.
Thank you, guys. That's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you tomorrow.